Dixie and I are spending a month in the Philippines to celebrate Christmas and New Year's with her family. We'll be going to some of the best tourist destinations to see why so many people love travelling to the Philippines. But we'll also have a lot of family time here and show you what the local traditions are for Filipinos as they celebrate the holidays. In this video, we're visiting Dixie's hometown of Dagupan, and then we're flying to Iloilo City to meet more of her family and find heaven on Panay Island. We've arrived in the Philippines, and it's my first time here. I'm about to meet Dixie's family for the first time. We flew into Manila, where Dixie's father and brother picked us up from the airport. Unfortunately for the vlog, I was worried that filming them straight away would make a bad first impression, so the footage of our first few days doesn't show much, but I'll do my best to tell you what happened. We started off with a 5-hour drive back to their home in Dagupan. Dagupan is right by the ocean, and it's known as the milkfish capital of the Philippines. Dixie's family lives on a long road that's surrounded by fish ponds. It looks incredible from above, and I'd never seen anything like it before. Later in our trip, we'll visit a fish pond to see how they harvest them, so make sure to subscribe and don't miss that video. Living by the fish ponds does have its challenges. Whenever the tide is high, parts of the road will flood. Sometimes, this will even flood the houses too. It's been happening more recently, so there's some work being done on the roads that will hopefully help. With all these fresh fish around, one of our first things to do was go out for a meal. We went out to a restaurant where they serve a boodle fight. The table is filled with food that everyone shares. Traditionally, you're supposed to eat this with your hands. The food was delicious, with so much fresh seafood. At night, we drove to Baywalk. It's an area by the beach that has a big market with lots of cheap foods. When we arrived at Baywalk, they had a magical Christmas display all over the park and government buildings.
Merry Christmas, baby. Reindeer's coming out to play. Santa Claus is packing the presents, making sure you've been behaving okay. Merry Christmas, honey. Yeah. The snowman's dusting off his hat, putting on the show for everybody, to give them a smile that lasts another year.
After enjoying the lights, we headed over to the market, and I couldn't believe how much food there was to choose from. We decided to get some barbecue food, although this wasn't the typical Kiwi barbecue I was used to. After ordering our food, they cooked it right there in front of us, and after a few minutes, it was time to eat.
We're having isaw. Okay, grab your isaw. It there. First isaw.
So dip isaw in vinegar?
Yeah. How was it?
Isao are chicken intestines, and they did taste pretty good, but this was about as adventurous as I got. However, I couldn't resist finishing off the night without a delicious chocolate frappe. It looked so good and it was so cheap. How could I say no? Well, this delicious treat turned out to be far more of an adventure than anything else I tried while in the Philippines. The next day, we woke up in the middle of the night for a super early drive back to Manila. Dixie's parents and her brother were joining us for a trip to Iloilo City to visit more of their family. Unfortunately, my stomach was starting to react to that delicious chocolate frappe. This was the day I needed to spend in bed with a toilet close by. Instead, we had a 5-hour car ride. Following the car ride was meant to be a really fun day exploring the Mall of Asia. This mall is huge and it seems like there's so much to do, but I spent all my time here running off to the toilet every few minutes. We then made it to what has been rated as one of the worst and most stressful airport terminals in the world. I cannot imagine a worse place to be when you're sick, but thankfully by the time we arrived here, I was starting to feel better. It made the 2.5-hour wait in line much easier, and because we arrived so early, and our flight was delayed by 3 hours, it wasn't really even too stressful for us. We finally arrived in Iloilo late at night and went to our Airbnb to rest. We started our day in Iloilo with Dixie's family giving us a tour of the city. Iloilo has a lot of historic buildings, dating back to the Spanish era of the Philippines.
This is one of the heritage churches here in the Philippines, because in Iloilo, this is the oldest church, Catholic church in the Philippines. It is made up of limestone and egg white.
Across the road is the plaza, and we'll come back here later tonight to see it all lit up. But for now, it's time for food. And as Iloilo is the birthplace of a dish called Lapas Batchoy, we had to stop by Ted's to try it. After our tour, we went back to our Airbnb to relax. But soon after that, Dixie's cousin dropped off some takeaways for us that we couldn't miss while in Iloilo.
Hello, so we're here in Iloilo and we need to try this Roberto Siopaw. Thanks JM for getting this for us. Thank you for queuing up. I know there was a big line because we went there twice, we passed there twice and there was like a long queue. And then we went back and just to get this for us. Thank you. So like this is the Roberto's Queen Siopaw. And bowls as well. So good. No need for a dipping sauce. My face is like Siopaw. Look how big. No need for sauce. This is really good. Let's try. So this is the sauce for the meatballs. Chili sauce. Sweet chili.
Wow, it's very good.
back to the Haro Plaza to see the tower lit up at night. But as we got closer, I discovered something much more interesting. The Plaza Tower is home to a colony of bats. This is my first time to see a bat outside of a zoo. They're very rare in New Zealand, and I love how we can see them here, living so close to people.
Hi, so we're here at Festive Walk, Iloilo. As you can see, we have the paintings, the lanterns, Christmas.
The next day, we left Iloilo City to explore more of Panay Island on a day trip to Gurin Farm. We drove down the coast, so of course had to stop for a fresh seafood lunch, and this is one of Dixie's favourite things about coming home. The seafood in the Philippines is so fresh and tasty, and because it's cheap, you can have as much as you want.
See, did you like the oysters?
No.
No?
Like the oyster. Sorry, like the oyster.
It's difficult to explain just what Gurin Farm is. It's part farm, part resort, and the reason we're here today is for the religious pilgrimage.
Oh my god! What's there?
For my first pilgrimage, we're going to walk up the Stairway to Heaven. It's 480 steps, and when we get to the top, we get to visit heaven. To start our pilgrimage, we have a display of Adam and Eve and Noah's Ark. There's actually a lot of displays all the way up the stairway, and I didn't notice any of them. I was too busy flying my drone, and I think everyone else was too excited to get to heaven. But we'll check them out on the way down to Earth. My first impression of heaven was that it was far too bright. We went inside this dark area just before it, where my eyes adjusted to the darkness. Then we came outside, and everything is painted white, and the bright sun is reflecting off it all. Eventually my eyes adjusted, and the whole display looked really impressive. We got our family photo in heaven before returning to Earth, because it's not our time yet.
So we're going down now. Yes. Going back to Earth.
Back to Earth.
A while ago we were in heaven.
Yes. How do you like heaven?
It's nice, but I'm not yet ready. So
Let's check these places out that we didn't see before. This guy's given up. He's tired too, you can see. He's walked up all these stairs. He just needs a rest.
After arriving back in Iloilo, we went out for our final meal together. We had a great time here, and it was wonderful to meet more of Dixie's family. Thank you so much to Tito Lito and Tita Judy for inviting us to Iloilo City. As our meal arrived, so did a group of carolers to sing some Christmas songs for us.
Let's open up and let our hearts embrace this moment for Christmas this year. Gonna make a sound, gonna make it loud for Christmas this year. Gonna make some noise, let the world rejoice for Christmas this year. For Christmas this year. Para sa'y magliliwanag ang pag-ibig ng Diyos. Sisinag sa lahat. Ngayong Pasko'y pag-ibig ang kailangan at kaibig. Kay ganda ng lahat. If we will just love. Ngayong Pasko'y pag-ibig ang kailangan at kaibig. Kay ganda ng lahat. If we will just love. If we will just love. If we will just love.
So that's Christmas carol in the Philippines. So we normally do that during Christmas season. So they'll sing, they'll perform, and then, of course, if you appreciate their performance, you need to give them some tips.
Dinner was so yum. My favorite was the oysters.
Oh,
Yes, they were so good. I think best oysters I've had.
wow! Best oysters I have.
Really good.
It's a baked oyster.
Yeah. And I made a new friend,
What's his name?
Skull.
Scott.
He's coming now, and they're running after him. He doesn't.
Oh. Okay. So we'll have to sanitize.
They're not running after Skull. They don't care about him.
Sorry.
Maybe that means he can come still. Skull's gone to another restaurant now, looking for new friends.
In our next video, we're heading to Boracay. This is the most popular tourist island in the Philippines, and for good reason. The beach here is perfect. There's lots of activities, and so many good restaurants. But with weather like this on our arrival, how will our holiday go? Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure in the Philippines. And if you want to support us, press the like button and let us know what you thought of Dagupan and Iloilo in the comments.